Imagine this. You post a photo on Instagram and within minutes your phone starts buzzing like crazy. Likes, comments, shares. It feels good, right? So the next day you post again, hoping for the same reaction. But what happens when you post something and people criticize it, or worse, ignore it completely? Believe it or not, these reactions are not random. They are part of a psychological process called operant conditioning, and social media platforms use it every day to influence our behavior.
Every like, comment, or notification delivers a small dopamine hit, reinforcing the behavior and making the brain crave more. Neuroimaging studies have shown that excessive social media use activates the same brain pathways as gambling or other reward-based behaviors, particularly in the nucleus accumbens and prefrontal cortex. The causes are deeply tied to modern life. Social media platforms are intentionally designed to keep users engaged through infinite scroll, unpredictable rewards, and constant notifications.
Today, our team will examine how social media influences user engagement and interaction through the concept of operant conditioning, a theory developed by B.F. Skinner. Operant conditioning explains how behavior is shaped by rewards and consequences. In simple terms, people are more likely to repeat behaviors that produce positive outcomes and avoid behaviors that lead to negative results. Social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are designed in ways that constantly apply these principles. Throughout this presentation, we will examine three key principles of operant conditioning: positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, and positive punishment. Each member will demonstrate how these psychological concepts appear in everyday social media interactions and how they influence the habits people develop online. We will also discuss how these habits can affect culture of workplaces and society, sometimes in positive ways such as increased creativity and communication, and sometimes in negative ways as distraction and conflict. Understanding these psychological influences help us better recognize how social media shapes our behavior and decision making in the modern digital world.
The first principle of operant conditioning we will discuss is positive reinforcement, which occurs when a behavior is followed by a rewarding stimulus that increases the likelihood of that behavior being repeated. Social media platforms heavily rely on positive reinforcement to encourage user engagement. For example, on Instagram, when a user posts a high quality photo or even helpful content and receives many likes, shares, and even engaging comments, that positive feedback reinforces the behavior. As a result, the user becomes more motivated to continue posting the same type of content and even gain the same rewards. A real-world example can be seen with the content creator we all know, Certified Samson. When he introduced his comedic character Ezekiel, the videos received significant engagement from his followers in forms of likes, comments, and even shares. This strong positive response reinforced the behavior, encouraging him to create more content featuring Ezekiel and even inspired him to create a separate page dedicated to him. Positive reinforcement through social media also creates several behaviors that influence society and workplace culture. One positive behavior is creativity and content sharing, where individuals are encouraged to express their ideas and even their talents online. Another is constant validation seeking, where people become dependent on likes and approval online, which could be negative for mental health. A third behavior is frequent posting and a heavy online presence, which can be positive for businesses and even influencers, but also may lead to a distraction in a professional environment. Overall, positive reinforcement is powerful, and it's a powerful tool that keeps users engaged and continuously interacting with social media platforms.
The second principle of operant conditioning is negative reinforcement, which occurs when a behavior increases because it removes or avoids an unpleasant experience. Unlike punishment, negative reinforcement actually strengthens behavior by taking away something negative. Social media platforms often use this principle to make the user's experience more comfortable and personalized. For example, on Facebook, users sometimes participate in heated debates in the comment section. If these interactions lead to stress, arguments, or backlash, a user may decide to stop commenting on controversial posts. When the unpleasant experience disappears, the relief reinforces the decision to avoid those discussions in the future. Platforms themselves also encourage these behaviors through certain features. On Facebook, the Not Interested option always allows users to remove unwanted or irritating content from their feed. When users filter out unpleasant posts, their feeds becomes more enjoyable, which encourages them to stay on the platform longer. Similarly, many users choose to unfollow individuals who frequently post political arguments or negative messages. By removing these sources of stress, the social media environment becomes more comfortable, reinforcing continued scrolling and engagement. This process also creates behaviors that influence workplace and societal culture. One behavior is content filtering, which can be positive because it reduces stress and improves users' experience. Another is avoiding conflict online, which can help maintain professionalism but may also limit open discussions. A third habit is extended screen time, which can negatively affect productivity and focus in workplace. Therefore, negative reinforcement plays a significant role in shaping how people interact with social media.
The third principle of operant conditioning is positive punishment, which occurs when an unpleasant consequence is added after a behavior in order to reduce the likelihood of that behavior happening again. Social media platforms often create situations where users experience criticism, backlash, or public embarrassment after posting certain content. These negative reactions can discourage individuals from repeating similar actions. A clear example can be seen on TikTok. If a user uploads a controversial or offensive video and receives a large number of critical comments, dislikes, or negative responses, that unpleasant experience acts as positive punishment. The negative feedback becomes a consequence that may make the user think twice before posting similar content again. A real-world example involves a 17-year-old TikTok creator known as Byron Lutz, who posted viral food review videos that included religious prayers and messages. While the videos gained attention online, they also reportedly caused conflict with coworkers, eventually resulting in him losing his job. This additional negative outcome acted as a form of positive punishment and may discourage him or others from posting similar content in the workplace context. Positive punishment through social media can also create several behaviors that influence society and workplaces. One behavior is greater caution when posting online, which can be positive because it encourages responsible use of social media. Another is fear of public criticism, which may negatively affect confidence and self-expression. A third behavior is increased awareness of professional image, which can positively influence how individuals represent themselves in professional environments. Social media engagement can be better understood through the principles of operant conditioning. Throughout this presentation, we examine how positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, and positive punishment influence the way people behave on platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Positive reinforcement encourages users to continue posting content because they receive rewarding feedback such as likes, comments, and shares. Negative reinforcement motivates users to change their behavior in order to remove unpleasant experiences such as stress from arguments or unwanted content in their feeds. Positive punishment discourages certain behaviors when users experience negative consequences such as criticism, backlash, or professional consequences. Is social media influencing your behavior, or are you consciously controlling how you use it? Understanding these psychological effects help us become more mindful users in an increasingly digital world. Together, these psychological processes shape the habits that people develop online. These habits can influence workplace, culture, and society in both positive and negative ways. On the positive side, social media can promote creativity, communication, and awareness of professional image. However, it can also lead to distraction, validation seeking, and fear of public criticism. By understanding how operant conditioning works within social media platforms, individuals can become more aware of how their behaviors are influenced by digital rewards and consequences. This awareness allows users to make more mindful decisions about how they engage with social media and how they present themselves, both online and in professional environments. Like and subscribe for more.